we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters. What's going on, everyone? I think I mentioned in a past video that we need to do something to rework some of these lay boxes. It's causing a lot of, I think, stress on some of the females and of course me. Like I need to produce babies to justify everything I'm doing and to pay for everything I'm doing. Like I could be messing up with my albinos. I thought that was the sure thing. No, actually the male sulfurs, he's not used to being in this small cage. He's waiting for the next enclosure to be done. He got shuffled inside, and I had put the females outside with the vivittatus. So he got shuffled inside here. But I'll show you what's going on here inside. And I feel like this is the lesser of all the problems. But the female albino, I can't tell, but I think she laid. But look, this box was full. She's kicked all the dirt out. Most of it has been on the floor that I have to sweep up every day. And she knocked the lid off last night. She's been digging, and obviously digging so much because she's not happy with what she has. And you know, we had intended on building a lay box that was gonna go in between these cages, that I could separate them, and then I could put a proper lay box screwed onto the side. She won't be able to see the male, and it would have proper depth, proper temperature, everything that she needs. And I put her back into an unheated lay box, and it worked before, but the other house had a warmer garage. And this garage is not cool by any means, but it's not as hot as the other one. And I think it has made the difference of her not being happy. So I'm unscrewing the bottom of this camera so I could set it up as a tripod. What I'm gonna do is lure her away from that box with a rat, get her into the other corner of the enclosure, and then I'm going to try and snatch it out of there, see if there are eggs, because I can't tell. She definitely looks thinner, but it could be the position she's in. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get this on film or not. But once I do that, then I'm going to also have to get the lay box out of there. So let's see what I can't do. She is really working to scent that out. She hears me talking. It's funny, it's like I say, these albinos, their vision is not the same as the others. As soon as she finds it, she'll start eating it, and then I can reach all the way in and get that lay box out. She's definitely trying to smell. All right, she finally found it. And I'm gonna say she hasn't laid yet. I watched her walk around quite a bit and saw her belly. I feel like from the right angle I can still see the impression of the eggs inside of her, so she is super ready to lay. Now, just the same, I'm going to... Oh, look at this. Look at this. I'm wrong. There's eggs in the ground. Holy cow, guys. Albino eggs. I think we have a box right here. Oh, thank God. So that crazy amount of digging. Gosh, look at the size of her eggs. So like I was saying, because she's inside, wow, her eggs just keep getting bigger. These are massive. That is a massive egg. Now I can't see how there's 9 in here, but could she have a smaller clutch because something wasn't right? Or because they're so big? 4? Gosh, those eggs are huge. I mean, it's almost not enough dirt for her to bury it. This dirt, it's actually really sad that I let it get to this. Like, it really bothers me that, like I said, if they keep digging and digging, they're not happy. They're stressing out about not finding the conditions. This soil is not the right temperature, and it's really not the right consistency. But I would almost bet that she still has more eggs in her, even though that's 5 absolutely giant eggs. I'm gonna hurry up and get those cleaned off and some spring water underneath them and those into the incubator. I think we're gonna add more soil to this and put it back in there and just see, because I feel like she still has more eggs and she realized that she couldn't get them all on the ground. So we're gonna do that. But this isn't what this video was supposed to be about. It's about our other problems outside. So let me get to sorting these out real quick. So we got plenty more dirt in her lay box and we got it set back in there. I guess I'm not going to, and she's submerged in her water. I guess I'm not gonna add the heat if I've already gotten the eggs. It looks like she still has eggs in her. So I packed the dirt down. It's a little more moist and obviously a lot higher, and I'll monitor it. It always sounds weird when I say that I'll monitor something when we're talking about monitor lizards. But let's get outside and see the real issues, and let me explain to you what I'm thinking. You get in the golf cart and we'll head back there. All right, guys, I'm walking into the hallway of the enclosures, and let's see, is Pinky out? She is not out. Lily's not out either. Maybe we go into Lily's enclosure, or let's walk down the hallway. Let's explain kind of where we're at. Lily is about to lay unfertilized. Pinky probably just laid unfertilized. So that is me being distracted and not onto it. Ivy fertilized but wasn't happy with her lay box situation, laid on the ground and in her water. Sunny wasn't happy with her lay box situation, held on to her eggs too long, put them in the ground, but maybe she held on to them too long, whatever it is. They look, I don't know, they look small, and her other unfertilized eggs looked better. And it could have everything to do with her being stressed out. Both of the young female sulfurs have been digging in their lay boxes, but I mean, that's their first unfertilized clutch. I'll monitor that situation. Here I am saying the word monitor again. It's going to be a trend. I don't know why I'm caught on saying that. So let's go into Lily's enclosure, where we have a proper lay box. And what I think, you know, I was worried about winter being here and the females choosing their lay boxes over their hide boxes and falling asleep in there and then getting caught by the cold and causing an issue. But I've caused another issue, and you know, I'm worried about them dying from the cold or getting sick and getting, you know, and then eventually dying from the cold. The cold's hard on the water monitors, much harder than it is on the black throats and white throats. But them not being happy with the laying situation and being full of eggs is so stressful. You could see that they are, they'll get so exhausted from digging that you'll see them like digging against like the wall. Like they're just like programmed. That's all they want to do is dig, and they're digging at nothing, but they are desperate to find the right humidity and right temperature, and I'm not providing it. Like, I'm the cause of the problem. I had the heat pads, and another viewer, or one of the viewers, had suggested, why don't I put flaps on the lay boxes, put the lids back on and put flaps. And honestly, I think that moistening the soil and doing that and getting that heat pad on, and when a female starts digging, boom, I turn that pad on and it stays on 24 hours a day until she lays. I feel like she's gonna lay faster anyway, and it's not gonna be stressful for her, because it is so stressful, and it's really, I'm not a good keeper if I'm putting them through that. So we're gonna go systematically in order of importance, probably starting with Lily and Pinky, and then working our way down the row and putting flaps on their lay boxes. And so that's the only problem, is how do I know that they didn't choose that as a hide? Because I did have some females that were doing that. Maybe I don't give them access to their lay boxes until I know that they're trying to lay. So I do put the board back in front of it so it's blocked off. And then when I see them actively trying to dig, then I only allow those females access where the heat pad's on. I think that's probably the best way, to board up the entry, only allow them access when I know they're, because I mean, look at what Lily's doing to her enclosure. She's test digging all over the place. She's test digging all around the perimeter, underneath their water. It's obvious when I need to open that door and get the heat mat on, but I need to do that all the way around. And let's see, because Pinky dug and dug and dug and then stopped. So I don't know if she did lay or gave up. God forbid she gave up and is now sitting on eggs inside of her. This is what her lay box is looking like right now. She did not eat a meal, or her full meal, yesterday, which is kind of a good sign that maybe she is going to lay today, tomorrow, something like that. I mean, there could be eggs in the ground. Maybe I just need to put the camera down and see, and maybe it's not as bad as I think. I mean, that albino still looked like she has eggs inside of her, and her eggs were in the ground. Those eggs were about twice the size of what they normally are. So maybe I'll look into Pinky's I mean, not high priority. They're not fertilized eggs. But the guru female, see, this where it turns into a problem with me not having the individual enclosure cameras yet. She is now test digging again as if she's cycling, and this is probably when I should open her up to the male. I don't know, this winter is making all this trickier. I feel like I've gotten ahead of myself, and I probably shouldn't have taken on more animals until I had everything solved. So I really need to solve these problems ASAP. And I guess breeding's not as important during the winter as their health. So yeah, I guess I got to find a way to run more electrical down that hallway to be able to turn the heat mats on. Or I could unplug all the top heat mats, which we haven't used yet this winter, and we won't unless it's a night that's severely cold. Unplug all the top heat mats and leave that circuit open to plug in the lay box heat mats in the females enclosures when needed. Obviously all summertime we could do that without running additional electrical. And then if we have a night that's 30 degrees or something, or below 40, we can block them off from their lay boxes altogether and just board them up for that night, and then come and unscrew the boards or something the next day. That might make sense. So I guess I need to get started on all that. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video, is getting everything right for these females. I need to finish the lay boxes for these youngsters and get these bins out of here, even Sunny and Ivy, because Ivy will give us good eggs if we give her the opportunity. We can get Bumblebee back. In fact, Carl just messaged me today. I need to message him back. But we need one more enclosure ready to put them together. Who can we move around? We gotta move something around. Well, that's something else to figure out. We gotta move someone around. All right, guys, let me get started. All right, guys, today's the day that I'm gonna start working on those lay boxes. In the meantime, we're gonna check in on Bubba. Come on, Bub. Give him some eggs, and he's getting further into that shed, which is really exciting, because now we're gonna start seeing those amazing colors. I mean, look at the white that's starting to come out. We're gonna see his more vivid orange spots. I cannot wait till his face finishes, because we really can't see all the orange on his face right now. But his colors are gonna be amazing when he's done. And you can see the difference of like what his back color looks like and then where it's shedding. It's drastic. Right before they shed, they get so dull. But this is not what we're here to do. You gonna get this egg, Bub? There you go. He's such a good lizard, huh? Oh no. All right, so we're gonna go across the hallway and check on Sapphire. Now, Sapphire has been digging to lay, and yesterday I almost questioned whether or not, I'm reaching down and getting eggs while I'm talking to you, if she actually already laid, and I still question that. So I was waiting. I tried to show in another video where it was a little rainy. Like, you can't hardly see if she's gravid, or, I mean, I could see her hips, But usually the black throats out of all the lizards look the most emaciated when they lay. So I'm gonna vote and say she hasn't. We could walk around her. We would see that she did dig a little more today. So I know after she eats these eggs, and I want her to eat that meal, and she goes into her hide box, I mean, you can see her wrinkle line's really big, but her belly on the bottom is hanging. And I know when Jane lays, she's really, really thin. I can also say that we separated Sapphire and Onyx relatively late because they had to be caged together, and we didn't get to really power feed this female as she was producing eggs. So maybe she's got a very small clutch. So I think step one is to lock her into her box after she's done eating. And then two, we're gonna dig in some of those places where she was digging, just to make sure there aren't already eggs somewhere in the ground. And they would have been in the ground for a day or so, which this time of year, I think we would have lost that opportunity if we let that happen. I'm gonna feed the, I think I got 5 more eggs. Give these guys, the rock monitors, an additional feeding, and then we'll get started in there. That's a better side shot of what her belly's looking at, guys, or like. Okay, Sapphire is now in her box, and oh, look at Pinks is watching us. I believe Pinky is full of unfertilized eggs yet again. But this is what I want to check, is I know that she has been digging there, digging here, and I want to go around and just scrape in. I know she dug there. I just want to dig all this up. And you can see where she's dug to. So I want to get that shovel and dig around, and then we'll open up her lay box and check everything in there. And I think what we're gonna do, because really the electrical right now, having a third electrical source, is only a problem during the winter for me. And I have both of these plugs in this outlet box. Let's see if I can open it. Okay, so that is the lower heat mat in her box, and this one is on a separate switch controlled through my Casa app. That does the upper heat mat that's on the roof of this box. So far this winter, so I'll only turn on the upper heat mat if it gets, I mean, I say below 40, but like 35. Then I'll be like, all right, we're turning it on, or 36 or something like that. I would turn on the upper. We haven't had that yet this winter. So this entire winter, I have not used I actually hear her hissing in there. I haven't turned on the upper heat mat yet. And if we did, she wouldn't be safe in her lay box anyway. So I think instead of running a whole nother electrical thing, I think, and we have 2 zones here, and one zone does that horseshoe of enclosures, and then another zone does this horseshoe, which is really only these 4 cages. Jane's cage doesn't even have an outlet in. You see the extension cord that's jumping to her cage, so we haven't even done that permanently yet. I think I'm just going to unplug the upper heat mat here, and then go into Onyx's and unplug his, and then turn in, mosquito on me, turn on the zone for the uppers for this horseshoe, and that will power her lay box heat pad in there. And it looks like she's still looking to dig, so let's verify to make sure she hasn't laid eggs first, and I'll let you guys see what I find. Okay, I dug up all through there where she had been digging. I dug up there, and I dug up those 2 spots. Nothing else looked significant enough, or it was compacted enough that I'm pretty confident that she didn't dig there. I just looked at another spot while we're talking. So what I'm gonna do is, well, I should have done that before. I can unscrew her box. Wow, that's been closed up a while. So that's her lay box and her heat mat with its indicator light. So now I'm gonna find the plug for that, which should be just jammed in there. It should be this one right here. And we'll unplug the upper. Get a little bit of that dirt off of there. God, the mosquitoes are already out. Tell you what, you just have one warm day and the mosquitoes are back out in force. Doesn't take them long. I think I said in a previous video, it's the Florida state bird. All right, so then we're gonna go to rows 3 and 4, turn on that is the Casa app, and that's how I'm controlling my heat mats. The glare on my phone. My phone's filthy from me setting it down while I'm working. And then there's the indicator light right next to that little silver button. You guys can see it's on. You can see that pretty quickly and from a distance. So she has a heat source in there. Now lastly, I did say something about putting a flap on there. But I don't, you know, that was the whole plan of this video, was creating something that if they went in there, then they're using it as a hide and they're safe in there. But I am only gonna make this accessible to females. You know me, I change gears in the middle of it. I have an idea and then I change that idea. I'm only gonna make this accessible when I see the desperation to lay. I'm gonna let them explore all their other areas and then make this open, because if I do it too soon, then I have a 2 or 3 week window where I have to be checking this box every day. And I don't mind checking stuff every day, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, you know, 1's not a big deal, 3 might be a bigger deal. Just walk out here and check a box. Well, what if it's raining? What if it's cold rain? What if, you know, I have plans, like I have something going on, that it's something that you can't skip a beat, you can't miss, or you could lose this animal. So I feel confident that she still has to lay these eggs, and now we're gonna make it accessible, and I think she's gonna lay within the week. That's my bet. And then, okay, Onyx is coming back out. He hears me talking and he's hoping for some more food. That's another bottomless pit. The rock monitors, their appetite has not curbed down from the cold like the water monitors. So what we're gonna do is we'll unscrew the lid, and hopefully we can get her to come back out tonight. I would love to get video of her actually walking into that lay box, and we know confidently that she's choosing it and scratching in there. I don't think I'm messing with any of the water monitors. Pinky's not close yet. I don't think any of the other ones are close yet. I think I just saw that Ivy is coming into a cycle, which means if she's coming into a cycle, so is Sunny. If Sunny cycles, I think I may put my hands on Sunny and try and introduce her to the male albino. And then we could end up with some het albino, het black dragons, which would be cool. And better for the farm altogether, really, financially. All right, let's unscrew that panel and see if she doesn't come out. All right, hopefully I don't mess this up by talking, but this is pretty awesome. She's walked out to the door twice, and now she's over there facing that area. Now I opened the door, so now she's eyeballing me as if I'm going to pull out some food. Don't go in your hide box. See, I'm going to ruin this by pulling the camera out. She may retreat. And can you guys see her belly dragging? Her belly is dragging the ground, so she's smelling the areas where I dug. All right, we're going to have to give her one more minute. So as interesting as the laybox situation itself was the fact that I'm trying to lure her into the laybox and I don't have any eggs. I fed them all the eggs this morning. And then I remembered I have some crock chow. And so these guys have never seen crock chow before. And this is awesome. Like, Onyx keeps picking up the chunks. He knows that it smells like food. Oh, he stopped. He chewed on the chunks, dropped them. He's circled back, came back to them. I can hear her rustling around with the one I put in her box. I put one at the entrance of the box, and I put one at the entrance of the lay box. But Bubba, with his insatiable appetite, this is actually kind of good because maybe I can get some more. And he's just chomping away at it. So I gave him, I mean, he looks like he's starving, but 2 days ago he ate a drumstick and a rat. Yesterday he ate 2 eggs. Today he ate 2 eggs. And like I said, there's no one in my collection that is eating that much food. So he's chomping away. Look at that, the shed on his back, the color difference. He's like, what are you doing to me? So he's got a couple more pieces, but yeah, he's chomping away at his. So funny to see them eat a different food source, and I wish she would just come out. But I think we're gonna have to do a whole video on all the different monitors and trying some of these. I mean, this would be a great food source for a secondary day or every other week for the second day or something to kind of add into their diet. But I know not all of them. I've tried it before, and I know that not all my animals will eat it, but still waiting. She's come out, walked around. She's gone by the entrance, but I think she's so used to the board being in front of that box, she hasn't stuck her nose in there. And I'm hoping if I had an egg and stuck an egg at the entrance, she'd eat the egg and then realize that there's no board in there and she'd walk in there. But we may have to finish this tomorrow morning with a quail or something. All right, guys, we are walking back into Sapphire's enclosure. And, you know, I did all that exploratory digging, and I should have packed everything down. I can't tell if she's digging still. Now, she's going to look plump as can be, but I gave her a quail yesterday, and you see her hunger looks insatiable. She's staring at my hands, and she looks like she wants to eat more, but she clearly can't eat more. I would rather you stay up there. How am I going to do this if you're going to swat at my head? Yeah. What I need to do is wait till she goes into her hide box. It is like 46 degrees. It's freezing cold. I would like her to stay in the sun. I was hoping that she would just stay in the sun and digest that big meal she's got. I'd rather her not be disturbed and stay in the sun as long as possible. So actually we're gonna leave her, come back when she goes in the box, and see if we could find another female. And I want to explain something, because this video took a turn. Remember, we were setting up maybe flaps on these hide boxes, these lay boxes, so these females can lay in winter. And then I just totally stopped doing that and didn't explain why. And I want it to all make sense. You know, initially, these females, Lily's laying in her water right now. She went into her water this morning. It's freezing cold. The wood is slatted. So, like, that's all the dirt. It's settled down. She's kicked a ton of her dirt out when she's been digging. But the wood is slatted. So what would be the point of trying to turn on that heat mat and put flaps over her door to try and hold the heat in, the lid is, with the slats, is gonna let the heat right out. And it's not gonna do what I want it to do. And I can't have these females staying in their lay boxes. And that's why I just switched gears. Like, it's gonna be something that I have to do female to female basis. I'm not setting them all up and have females go lay in their lay boxes and then fall asleep in there, and then it get too cold at night, because that mat isn't going to cool that whole box if it can't hold all that temperature in. That's why this box works good, because it is so sealed with the double rows of flaps and stuff. With this flap is caught a little bit and it's letting air in, the one behind it is sealing and keeping that temperature right. It has to all work together for it to heat itself with the 40-watt heat mat, and they've been working great. In fact, this winter I haven't even turned on my upper heat mats yet. I'm not doing it until it gets below 40. So that's why I changed gears, and I'm going to do it on a female to female basis, on waiting until she's definitely really close to laying. And then I will put the lid on, and then that one female, or those two females, I'll have to check on them every night to make sure they're not in there, and get them out of there and get them into their lay box or their hide box. Why do I keep confusing the two? So now she's walking over by the door. I have another video that I'm working on, so maybe we'll switch gears, work on that. Wait till she goes into her hide box, close her in there. I do want to unscrew the lid and look in there and see if she laid eggs. I want to explore the whole floor of her whole enclosure again and check her lay box. I don't think she disturbed any ground, but those females are really good about disturbing the ground and then making it look like they never did. So something happened. I just don't know what. I feel like she laid eggs and I just didn't find them. And she just did a really good job of hiding them, which is a shame, because she hid them that good and I didn't find them. They've been in the ground. I think it got down to 43 last night. The eggs are no good. And again, this is I think the last week of my divorce. Not monetary wise, but at least until the judge stamps it. So stressful week, and I'm a little more than a little distracted. Let me wait till she goes in her box and we'll finish up this video. All right, guys. I came back from lunch and she was in her box. So I screwed the board on there. And then I went with this skinny shovel, knowing the eggs wouldn't be any good. And I literally dug everywhere in her enclosure that she had scratched and dug. And no eggs. I don't know factually if blackthroats can reabsorb eggs or if they secretly lay them and eat them. She definitely looked like she was gravid, but I've seen that with blackthroats so many times. You know, it was a month or so after they had mated, about a month after. I would have guaranteed that she was gravid. She's trying to dig out right now. I think the solution moving forward, you know, I talked about how I don't like the slats because it's going to let the cold air in. I think I need to build a concrete lay box, or even like hardy board, not hardy board, Durock, that cement board instead of plywood on the siding. So we could build it on this same exact frame. Maybe that makes sense. We can build it on the same frame and yeah, maybe even have a cement board top or a plywood top. I hate the plywood. I don't like them sitting on this pressure treated material. I think it's horrible. I don't know if you guys have any ideas, you let me know. I know that I'm supposed to meet Jim Heck in the next couple weeks. He wants to go kayak fishing. And I know he does a lot of his stuff outdoors. In fact, my hide boxes are designed off of his Heck hides, a design he came up with. In fact, he uses a higher wattage heat mat on the roof, and he's really the same latitude as me, so he would deal with the same temperatures. Kind of feel defeated about this. I really thought I was getting blackthroat eggs, but I feel like I've said that at least a dozen times since you guys have been watching my channel, and it's been a failure every time. But whatever the solution is, I need to figure it out. There's other females that looks like they might be cycling, and what am I doing all this for if I'm not going to solve this problem? This might be one I need input on. I mean, another month and a half, these lay boxes are fine again, really, throughout the rest of the year. It's that 3.5 month period, 3-month period that these temperatures are a problem. I just need to figure it out. If you guys know a solution, let me know. Otherwise, I will keep thinking on it and try and solve this problem. All right, guys, until next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.